Okay, my name's Tim Gorner. I'm with How to Draw Comics, and I'm an aspiring digital inker. And I'm just going to show you I'm going to show you a little, a quick. I don't want to say quick, but I'm going to show you how I do cross hatching. A lot of people are asking, how do you do cross hatching? Obviously there's a lot of videos online you can probably take a look at, but it's always nice to see someone doing it hands-on. It gives you a feel. I'll try to narrate as I go along to try to explain like how my process works and everything like that. Another suggestion is especially for comic book art, like Marvel style or like kind of any kind of indie superhero style. Obviously always study um, you know what the pros are doing. And if you look at Scott Williams and how he inks Jim Lee stuff, he does a lot of cross hatching in his work. David Finch does a lot of cross hatching in his work. I would say the master of cross hatching is Dale Kewen. And if you have an opportunity, just go online, Pinterest or Google, and take a look at how they're doing their line work. Some of it's just so pristine and crisp. But like anything, like so for example, what do I got here? So here's my brush, right? So when you're inking digitally, one of the advantages is you can go really thick, and depending on your pressure, you can go even thinner, 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 a little thicker, a little thicker, a little thicker, a little thicker. And as you can see how the line works, sort of thing, and then if I want to build off that, I could do something like this. You know what I mean? And see how that builds up like that? So, we can get a little tighter. Like say, for example, we have some, like an arm here or something, like some darkness, and then we want to show some roundness or some depth. Now, a lot of times what I'll do too, and I think even traditional inkers can attest to this, depending on how your pen or how you hold your instrument, a lot of times, you're going to be moving things around a little bit so you can get that perfect angle kind of thing, So then I go here, and then see how that works there like that. And sometimes you can get a little more fun with it once you get a little more daring with it. But you see what I mean? And then say if I want to do like a circle, and you want to show like a reflective surface there. I'm just doing this really fast, but I'm going to show you another example in a second here. This isn't going to be the best example, but maybe that's a little overkill. Let's not show this one. Delete. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is, like, again, I'll do another quick review. So depending on your on the pressure of your pen and how hard you push it down. I mean, obviously don't like pierce your screen or anything like that, but then that's a real thick one. And then a little less one. And you can just kind of, what I like to do too is depending on how I crosshatch, like for example, I have something like that, right? And then you just roll down here so you can see a little bit better. Now, what I'll do is I'll start going close together, and then I'll start spreading it out a little bit more. And that kind of creates the illusion of like some sort of depth. Okay? So what I'll do is I'm going to go to an actual picture. I'm going to do the whole thing in 10 minutes. Yeah, okay, no. But I'll take a section here, and we'll just build on it and see what that looks like. So I found this on this is Jose Luis. Amazing pencils. I mean, this guy is like a modern day. Look at those details, man. He's so much fun to ink, and you can learn so much doing just one of his pieces. I've done a lot. If you actually take a look on my Instagram or the history of some of the stuff I've done on How to Draw Comics, you can see a lot of I've inked a lot of his work for practice purposes, and just by doing his stuff, I've learned so much. So I mean, look at this dark area. So first, we're gonna do because it's a low res, I have to increase the. See, it's 72. Do you see that? What? It's so low, right? So I want to jack that up to 400. Boom. Now look, it's all like all washed out and everything. So I'm going to zoom out, and I'm going to focus on one part here just to kind of illustrate how I would do the cross hatching here. So we'll get that in first. Here are the dark spots. I don't have to be too careful how I do it. I just have to, because it's all going to be dark anyways. So we'll just do all this, get all that in there. Now, is this the correct way? Maybe. This is how I do it. So I'll probably make this pen a little bit smaller because it's pretty big right now. So yeah, make it a little bit smaller there. Okay. So we got this here. Some people wait to do the blacks later. I like to do, it depends on how I feel about the whole thing, but usually I'll mix and match. Sometimes I'll do the blacks after, but I usually like to do it first because then I can build off of it. So we'll just start building it up with the initial layer. We'll start up over here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it around just because remember what I said, and just slowly build it up. And then I'm going to go on this side and do the same thing. Kind of taper it off a little bit too. There's a little bit of a roundness to it. Start doing down here too. And it's okay if it's not like exactly. You can get away with a lot. Like I said, this is just such a small section of what we're looking at. And then try to follow where the line is. And then we just start building on it. Same thing here. Sometimes you can even, go even smaller lines there, just kind of build some more depth and some roundness, like what I'm doing here. You try to, it's like I said this before, it's like the Karate Kid with Mr. Miyagi, and he's doing the bonsai tree there. You just cut wood, it feels good, Daniel-san. There we go. And then get that out there like that. We'll zoom out, and we'll see how that looks. It's looking pretty sweet to me. And then obviously, gives you a good idea, right? So that's how I would do it, and basically you just build on that. Again, I'll do one more little section, like say right here. I'll just go this, and then this white part here, I'd probably just fill it in anyways, and then I'll come back in later with an eraser and just kind of do something like that. But for now, I just gotta see that it's all dark here. And then I'll do the same thing here. So it's like, and then smaller, bigger. You kind of build on it. And the same thing over here. And pretty neat, eh? So we'll go over here. And then you get lines up here. Taper them off, So line work here. And then, and then so basically you're just like, it's just like rendering it, right? And you try to follow the light source, you try to follow like the shape, and that's what you're trying to build. You're building layers with your cross hatching. Now there's other artists that don't even do cross hatching. It's all line work. Like Lee Weeks, he just does this amazing line work. Max Dunbar, it's all just nice line work, and then they go in with colors to shade it and stuff like that. So it all depends on your style, especially even like with anime and manga. It's all very cartoony. It's very linear. And then they do the shadowing with color. But this type of style, this is like more my style. Then you got guys like Mike Mignola, where it's all blocks and just like light and dark shapes. And it all depends on your style. But this, like, I mean, I could probably do another video just on like darker shapes as opposed to cross hatching. But this particular tutorial, I just want to focus on cross hatching and show my process. So I hope that helps a little bit in some way. Look how cool that looks. And yes, I will be inking this piece eventually. It's pretty sick. Bane, I now give you permission to die. So I hope you got something out of this. My name is Tim Gorner with How to Draw Comics. Stay safe and hope to see you guys again soon. Cheers.